Hello and welcome to the Sober Freedom Podcast. I'm Christal.
And I'm Lisa.
And we're here to share our experiences of going alcohol-free and the freedom that it brings in the hope that it might inspire and support you in your journey.
Hi and welcome to the Sober Freedom Podcast with myself, Lisa, and Christal.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to have a little bit of a catch up, without having a third person here spoiling our party. Oh my God. What do you want now?
I know, it's been really, really busy with guests, hasn't it? And we've not had a chance to actually have a little catch up with just the two of us for ages.
Yeah, but it's been so interesting hearing the different guests, the different backgrounds, the different perspectives that they have on sober living. It's honestly like you think, okay, I'm sober, but everybody's experience is so different and how they arrive at that point is so different.
We've heard a lot, haven't we? Lots of different like personal stories and professional sort of perspectives as well.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's just mad, isn't it? Like we're in here, we listen to these stories, and then like another 2 weeks goes by. And then we've got the next guest.
Yeah.
It's all sort of happening very quickly. So it's nice to pause and reflect.
Yeah.
Which is a theme that has come up from some of our guests, hasn't it?
Definitely.
I know like when we had Claire Dew in, she was something that sort of resonated with me was she's talking about when we're getting into like the red danger zones of when we might want to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what did Nadine say as well? She was talking about having a warning sticker on our heads. So when we're feeling tempted to drink or warning, may drink if.
Yeah. Trigger, like all these triggers, yeah.
I thought they were very interesting points, and something I'm constantly working on is trying to take pause to reflect when we're getting into those sort of trigger warning zones.
Yeah, myself as well. Recently, I'm trying to explore more kind of mindfulness. Like I did Pilates for the first day, 7 a.m. in the morning. What the hell? Pilates at my gym, Project 4 Fitness, Oldham, Manchester. And it was really good. It was slow paced, and I don't do anything slow paced. So just to have that enforced slowness, and I couldn't speed up because I'm not in charge of the class. was really good for me. Was really good. But I'm looking on in a couple of days. I am going to go to a sound bath healing experience, which I'm really excited about.
Have you done anything like that before?
Not a sound bath, no. So yeah, I've got that on Friday with a friend, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm looking to kind of fill any little nuggets of free time I've got now with less crazy, fast-paced things and more just take a beat and see how I get on with that.
I can't wait to hear how you find it, because I know it can be hard to slow down, can't it? And it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that comes natural for me. It's something that I crave a lot. Is like, just one night, just or an afternoon just to sit down and relax and whatever. And then if I get that a few hours, I'm like, okay, right, what do we do now? But yeah, that cupboard's looking a bit dirty. Yeah, take everything out. I can't sit still. Mm-hmm. It's very frustrating.
I did a sound bath. I've done a couple, but I did find it really, really hard to just lie there with, to try and relax, because as I've said before, like my overthinking mind will kick in. So I hope you're able to sort of get into it.
Yeah, well, hopefully I don't fall asleep. I can actually tell you what happens. Yeah.
And we had the gym organised with the Goddess Movement, didn't they? We had the Goddess Movement retreat, which was brilliant.
We had that retreat a couple of weeks ago, which was really successful. It's the first type of thing that I've ever done like that. I originally was only coming to do the workout element of the day, but I managed to jump on, do a little bit of yoga. Yep, sort out that curvature of the spine, you know. I'm now 6'7". I was 4'2" when I started. But yeah, it was really, really successful. It was you spent the whole day there, didn't you?
I loved it. It was just so magical. It was brilliant. And I think it can be so hard, like when everyone's like working and I've got my own business to run, to kind of say like, I'm going to take that day for myself to actually, you know, connect with other women, reconnect with myself and just give myself some like enrichment. But it was brilliant. I loved it.
Do you know what was interesting for me was that I was going in a work capacity, but when I was there, I was thinking, do you know what? I would never take the day off work or the morning and afternoon off work to do something like this, but I feel really good now. Like that will then impact the rest of my day, my weekend. So it is important. It is important. And I think it's a case of trying to prioritize, or not even trying to, prioritizing, you know, your mental health, your well-being, your peace of mind, prioritizing that for the greater good.
I agree. And I think it can be hard for anyone to like justify the time, whatever the working family setup is. Sometimes we do find it really, really hard to justify that time.
Yeah.
But I guess I can understand that, like for you, going there because it had work involved makes it easier to justify, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I think it is so important because it gives you time to just connect with yourself again, but also gives you time to think of other ideas which can make you more productive and better fueled and creative for work as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But one thing that you just said there was like connect with yourself. But for me, it's connect with other people as well. That just like the few hours that I spent there was just, like you say, it was so magical. I don't want to sound all hippy dippy, but it was really like, okay, we're all out of a work setting. We're all out of the gym floor setting. We're eating together. We're having fun together. We're having conversations. We're doing stuff that we wouldn't usually do together. And it was like, okay, we have actually have a relationship on a different level and really enjoyable. And it's like made me feel different, you know, and it was that connection. And when you're 100 mile an hour all the time, 7 days a week, you kind of give a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there and a little bit here. And you don't, well, I don't anyway, probably allow myself to connect on a deeper level with other people because I don't have either the mental space or the emotional space or the space in my diary. My Google Calendar looks like a packet of Skittles. It's just different colours blocked everywhere for this at that time, this at that time. So to be able to stop and just have a conversation without an agenda of it being work or this or that or the other was so nice and so needed.
Yeah, and it was really uplifting, wasn't it?
So uplifting. Amazing. Like I say, I was there for half the day. All you lucky buggers were there the whole day, so got to experience everything. But no, I'm definitely going to make time for more, and I am making more time for things like that for myself.
Good. Did you, when we were there, did you hear some of the, Susie, who's our Pilates coach, was telling us some of the like different versions of ourselves that we can tap into, like the goddesses? Did you heard some of those?
Yeah, I heard the warrior goddess, or the warrior. There was a lot of funny breathing going on with that. How was that? Looking out the corner of my eyes, is everyone else doing this? Is everyone else? Or is it just me? Panting like I'm 7 months pregnant. Yeah.
And she went on, I don't know if you were there at this point, but she was talking about, so it's all these different sort of versions of ourselves that we tap into, which have different sort of personas. But I don't know if you were there. She was talking about like the superwoman sort of character, which is the woman who is trying to fulfill all of these different sort of personality types. So like the warrior, the mother, the lover. And then when we go into this superwoman sort of zone, it's where we're trying to like deal with like the mothering, the workload, the parenting, the giving, the loving. And that's how we can often like become completely burnt out and frazzled. And I know that so many of us are like operating in that zone a lot of the time. I'd say nearly all of the time. And then when we're in that sort of character of the superwoman trying to do everything, she was saying like how then these other characters can emerge, which could be a victim, a martyr, or the bitch.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I can relate to that last one. So these are things that we don't want to be doing and behaviours that we don't want to demonstrate.
That's so interesting. I miss that.
It was really interesting. And I think, but this sort of superwoman where we're trying to run around everything, I think that links back to this sort of triggering area of where we're in the red zone, where we're stressed, where that might be when we're going to like reach for alcohol or these like coping behaviours that aren't necessarily good for us. So it's sort of, I've started to get more into tune with that because obviously I'm not going to reach for the alcohol to cope.
Yeah.
But what are these other like coping strategies that we can have in place?
Whether you like it or not, you will find something to cope or alleviate that stress. So it's finding something that's not necessarily super negative. I mean, it's good to vent, but I'd rather you go and do like a boxing class than, kick off with your partner or your neighbour or something, or road rage.
Yeah,
so it's finding a kind of a functional way. One, recognising your triggers so that you can catch your thoughts in that moment and you can kind of move direction. But two, also finding a way to functionally get that shit out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that day was a perfect example of just taking time to pause. But obviously we can't always afford a day to do that. But any, like you say, pockets of time that we can sort of take that time to pause and be more mindful.
Yeah, it's important.
And I've noticed well, you'll have seen me there. I've been coming to the gym a bit earlier as well at 7 a.m.
I know. I thought I was having a vision. Who's this vision walking in a matching two-piece outfit at 6 a.m?
7. I'm not at a 6. I mean, I never thought I'd be a 7 o'clock person, but maybe it could be a 6. Who knows? But what I have really found, well, I'll tell you one of my motivations for doing that was because usually on the weekend the kids have got football and it's usually obscenely early. So it's like, I'll get up earlier in the week and then those early starts on the weekend will be a lion.
Love that.
But what I have found actually is the working out consistently and getting it in sort of earlier, I have found like it's really impacting my mood. I feel a lot more level, and things that would usually tip me over the edge, like anxiety-wise, which honestly doesn't take a lot. I just feel like I'm coping so much better with those things now and I definitely can attribute that to like this consistency with exercising. So. Great.
I'm very similar in that sense. I prefer to work out 6 a.m, 7 a.m, 8 a.m. the latest. 8 a.m. for me is mid-afternoon in my world. So I'm already itching by that point thinking I've got so much to do. I'm going to have to sacrifice the workout if I don't get it done. But it just makes me feel like I've accomplished something already.
True.
And I feel productive and my mood's lifted because I feel better in myself. So it trickles and it has transcends into different facets of your life, definitely.
And I think I saw something that Mel Robbins said, but she's basically saying like, if you can make a commitment to yourself and stick to it. So I think even if you like, I've definitely found, obviously like when I was drinking, you sort of can't make those commitments to yourself stick because alcohol will always sort of like take a priority.
Yeah.
But now like I started with the gym and before I stopped drinking, started showing up, started doing those commitments to myself. And then it builds your confidence up a little bit day by day.
Yeah.
And not having that alcohol that's always making you be flaky, not stick to commitments. It starts to like really build you back up and makes you believe that you can do more things, I have found. And I am now nearly 12 months sober.
Happy nearly birthday to Christal. That is bananas.
I can't believe it, honestly.
That is bananas.
And I said to Si, I said it to him this morning, I was like, it's nearly 12 months. And so thinking back 12 months ago, like we were in such a I was in such a different place. As a couple, we were in such a different place. And like 12 months ago, because I hadn't stopped yet, it wasn't even like, I couldn't have imagined from there being here now.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I'm very proud of myself.
I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you as well, because just like you're saying there, making these commitments to yourself, it's making a commitment to yourself is showing up for yourself. And if you don't show up for yourself, no other person is going to do it. And you can't expect anyone else to, because we all know that person who lets you down consistently or is flaky. So if you can't be that person for yourself, you can't expect other people to, want to indulge you or want to help you, because you're going to be Lisa that constantly lets them down, or Christal that's constantly, oh, no, she's late again, or can't do it this week. So making that commitment to yourself consistently, then that becomes a standard. That's your bare minimum now to yourself. Christal, just think about that you've done for almost 12 months now. You have got, your minimum standard is here. 12 months ago, your minimum standard was there. And for listening purposes, I'm pointing to the floor. So her just non-negotiable minimum now is so high to herself that it raises everything else in her life. So she's not going to keep this. She's not going to keep this standard high and then be really shitty in other areas of her life, because it just doesn't happen like that. You can't do that. Everything else levels up. And that's what you're saying now. You can see it happening over the past 12 months. You couldn't have imagined your life being here now. Absolutely. But because you've made that commitment to yourself, you've had to raise your standards in every other area of your life. You're more present with your kids. You're more present with your partner. You're more vital in your own business. Your relationships are more genuine and present and real. So everything else raises up. So can you imagine another 6 months from here, Christal, your standards are going to be raised again. One day you'll be as good as me.
We can hope. I can only hope. Oh.
No, I'm joking. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it started with you making a commitment to yourself that, no, I'm not drinking anymore.
Well, I think it started by joining the gym, to be honest, and making that making that commitment. And we speak about it in a forthcoming episode with Vicky Pete, who is a health and nutrition coach and PT. But it's about, I think it started putting the gym in with you, Lisa, and I think just putting like the positive, putting positivity in, and putting positive actions in, even if it's like a little tiny bit, it all starts to build up.
Christal, it doesn't matter a tiny bit here, a tiny bit there. It all compounds and it all builds, and then before you know it, it's starting to take effect. So then you get a bit more confident, a bit braver to make bigger decisions. So, I'll try that, because you've got the backing and the confidence of the small things that you've put in place already, and it just compounds and it grows and it grows, and before you know it, 12 months down the line, you don't recognise yourself. You don't reckon that, like, shit, who is this Christal now? This is not Christal I knew 12 months ago. Transformed, and it's like, it's not happened overnight.
No.
But you've put in the graft. You've put in the days of anxiety, the days of coming to the gym when you didn't want to, the days of, it would just be so easy to reach for that drink. Catching that thought before it becomes an action, and then turning that around, and it's hard work. It's hard bloody work, and it takes practice. And there've been many times when people try that, and before they can finish the thought, it's a drink, and the 3-4 drinks in. Okay, that it happens.
It does,
it happens just start again. Just start again. The thing for me is trying to catch something before it gains momentum. If you have a bad day eating, or if you have a few drinks and then it turns into a all-night binge or whatever, right, the next day, catch it, start again, just start again. Don't allow it to pick up speed where it becomes 2-3 days, before you know it's a week, and then it's 2 months down the line. Oh, if I would have just kept to that.
Yeah.
Just try and catch it.
I love that. You've just start again. Next opportunity, start again.
Start again. That's that's the best thing about every day is a new start. Whether you wake up feeling incredibly sad in the morning, it's a new day. Whether you jump out of bed, can't wait to get Pilates at 7 a.m. It's a new day. It's a fresh start from whatever rung of the ladder you're starting from. Start there and just take the next step. And it might take you 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to take the next step, but you're still on that level. If you don't go down, you're still on that level, and you're always kind of building momentum. I always say 1%, try and improve just 1% each day. All these compound actions, all these compound thoughts, what you eat, what you drink, what you consume with your mind in social media, TV, who you have in your circle, it all goes to either nourishing you or rotting you. And it's making these quick decisions, actioning fast, whether that's good or bad. Just turn it around. Don't think, oh, right, this is me for the next week then. Fuck it.
And I think even if people are if you are having a bad day, I'm sure if we again pause and have a look at that day, even if it has been a bit of a crappy day, there's got to be some good, try and always be doing something good, and that could just be making sure you've drunk all your water that you need to drink for that day.
Yeah.
Or you might have eaten a chocolate biscuit or a cake. I love my cake, but I might have eaten really well apart from that, or eating the salads, or had a good connection, a good chat. So I think even in the shittest days, if pausing and looking actually in that day what has been good, to sort of reframe it and keep looking out for those positivity little nuggets throughout the day.
Absolutely.
Really,
and even in that, don't let a bad morning define your day. It's a bad morning. Okay, right, well, it's 12 o'clock now. We're into the afternoon. Start again from 12 o'clock. Don't let it dictate your whole day, because you're just giving up in that sense. And I know it sounds easier said than done. It's not easy, and I'm not saying it from a perspective where I find it easy to do that. Last week, I was sat in my car. I got to work early to try to because I like getting in early, preparing the class, and I was sat in my car just for a minute, just relax before I go in. Next thing, bang, someone reversed right into me while I'm sat in the car. And I was like, Lord Jesus, please give me the strength not to throttle this person. And do you know what? When I got out of the car, they were devastated. They were, oh my God, and I thought, do you know what? I'm okay. They're okay. Let's just exchange details. And in the end, I ended up comforting them, because they were so, I'm really sorry, I can't believe I've done that. And I'm like, look, relax. No one's hurt. We'll just, but it could have been a real flip, but in that moment, I just thought, right, it's done. Let's just control what can control in this moment. And taking control of that situation then dictated my evening then, because I could have been massively stressed, massively upset. But looking at the fact is, my car's got a dent in it. Whether I go home and be mad, or whether I go home and be chill, my car's still got a dent in it. I still have to go and teach the class after that. Whether or not my car's got a dent in it, I've still got to teach this class. There's still 20 people turning up who expect me to be high energy, have a smile on my face.
Yeah.
No one knew that happened.
You're very good at that.
10 minutes before I got into the class, so it's, you have to show up for yourself. You can't let yourself down. A few years ago, I would have had that experience, think, right, I cannot wait. I'm getting leathered tonight. You know, it was, oh, great. There's another excuse. It's justified. It's justified. It's justified. And you'll justify whatever behaviour you want to do if you really want to do it. You know, so catch yourself in your thoughts when things happen to you that are triggers for behaviours where you're going to drink, where you're going to eat lots of cake in Christal's cake. She's a bit of a cakeaholic. You know, it's about catching those thoughts, reframing it. It is what it is. The only thing you control now is your reaction to that. And that's what you have to do.
Just picking up on something else you've just said there is like you'll make like the excuse for anything that you really want to do as well, any behaviour that you really want to do.
Yes.
And I think as well you'll find time for any behaviour you want to do. Like I could somehow always find time for booze and for hangovers. I do not know how I could justify that time. But also now it's been a nice flip to be able to find the time for other things, like a commitment to exercise, like connection through these events with other women.
Like, think about your life now. How the hell did you have time for hangovers?
I don't know.
And what? How the hell?
I just had to do everything with a terrible hangover.
And that seems mental right now that you would do that.
I can't.
That you would put yourself,
choose to do that.
Can you imagine? The thought of a hangover now, I'd rather go and stick my head under a bus. Roll over, reverse, roll over. That would be less painful than my hangovers. So I cannot imagine willingly putting myself through that now.
I agree. And then trying to struggle through whatever the days had with a hangover. It's just a lot more simple without one. But I think something that we spoke about with Claire is, and it goes back to this same thing of having a pause and having a break, like how a hangover sort of would give the opportunity or the excuse for rest and a break.
Yes.
Rather than just saying, you know what, I really need a time out. I need a couple of hours.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's catching that and trying to see that like red zone area where we're getting frazzled and saying, you know what, I don't need a drink. I need a break. I need a rest. How do I make that happen? And that's all, you know, it's still hard to give ourselves that permission.
It is. But like you say, we will justify anything. And sometimes we need to justify having a break. One of the common themes that have ran through the guests during the podcast is how alcohol was filling the gap of a feeling of isolation and lack of connection. And it's interesting to me because from not drinking, I've opened myself to having more connections and being less isolated, which is the irony, really, because that was one of the reasons why, you know, I just to ease my anxiety, you know, my social anxiety, or to kind of make myself feel a bit better. So it's what you then fill that void with, making sure that those are positive things. So, like I say, the Goddess Movement yoga retreat, that would have been, you know, a bottomless brunch at one point.
I can't imagine that version
rather
of you.
than doing that. You don't want to. You don't want to. But yeah, so having like a day and an afternoon at that wellness retreat now, connecting with women from all different walks of life, on a really like nourishing level. I can't even believe I've just said that, but a nourishing level is so much more beneficial. But that would have been, I don't know if I can, you know, spare that time. Whereas a bottomless brunch, it would be, right, who's coming? What time are we getting picked up? Are we getting a minibus? You know,
it would never give it a second thought, really.
A second thought.
Yeah.
And
I think as well, like how often I would prioritise like a night out and then obviously the hangover the next day. When I did have the children to look after, and obviously I wasn't having like wasn't the best version of myself for them after I'd been out the night before.
Yeah.
So obviously all that's gone now. And I think it's, you know, obviously we speak a lot about like sort of exercise as an outlet and wellness and those sort of activities for connection. But there's so many, you know, there's so many more. I think it's just so important to find the ones
that suit you.
Yeah. And people, I know when we spoke to, we've got a guest coming up next week, Vicky. When we were speaking to Vicky, it's sometimes that we don't even know what those activities might be that we're interested in or things that other people might join us on.
Yeah, because everything is kind of pub-centric, alcohol-centric. But it's quite fun and quite exciting exploring new options, like more creative options to do with your time than drinking. And you'll find that a lot of your friends, like you'll one friend will really like doing this, one friend will really like doing that. So it's nice to kind of rediscover those friendships outside of you know, a pint of Stella and a packet of Nobby's nuts. Yeah. You get me.
It is. And I think another thing that Vicky touched upon as well, which I thought was really interesting, is that she'd been looking for ways not to drink for a long time, but also in her not drinking, that was opening up the opportunities to her friends as well to actually do something else that wasn't around alcohol, which is a nice break for everyone as well. So you've got an exciting adventure coming up, haven't you, as well?
Yes, I am climbing the National Three Peaks in May, at the end of May. So Ben Nevis in Scotland, Scafell Pike in England, and then finally Snowdon in Wales. So it's 3 peaks over 3 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my feet are already telling a tale.
Have you got some good shoes?
Yes, I have got some good shoes. I've got some better bunions. They are rocking right now. They will have their own podcast by the end of it, let me tell you. But yeah, so I've got that upcoming. So I've been training for a few months, training quite hard, working towards that. So I'm excited to do that. I always like to set myself a challenge every 3 months or so, and very different challenges, so that I'm occupied and focused and feeling motivated, and also to like help and inspire the gym community that I've created with myself and my business partners.
Yeah, you do inspire us all.
Thank
the
you.
time.
Appreciate it.
So when you do that walk, how is that 3 peaks, 3 days, is it?
Yes. So we start off on the Friday. We go up Ben Nevis, climb it, come down, straight in the van, and then we drive to, so Ben Nevis in Scotland, straight in the van, then we drive to England, where we'll have a briefing and sleep, and then the following morning up we will climb Scafell Pike, up, down, back in the van, drive to Wales, where we'll eat, stay over, and then climb Snowdon the next day, and then straight back in the van, get kicked out somewhere on the motorway, I think.
There's a bit of sleep in there, but that sounds intense.
Yeah,
really
so it's
intense.
3 peaks over 3 days.
Well, I bet you'll make some good connections on that trip, because you're going to be all in it together, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. So I don't know anyone else who's doing it, but I'm doing it with it's an organised trip. So no, I think there's about 10 people in my group. So no doubt I'll get to chat to everybody and make some new friendships and learn some new things from people.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it should be really fun, because what I found with when you're physically at your, like through exercise or through doing something, when you're at your most depleted is where you kind of find this warrior type of spirit, because you have to complete whatever you're doing, or otherwise you just don't, and I cannot.
I guess it's not an option, is it? You've just got to do it.
It's not an option, but it's in those times where you dig deep, that's where you build your character, and that's where you see it in other people, and kind of bonds are created, or deeper bonds are created during those times. So it's a really good Really good experience. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Rather you than me.
Thank you so much. I'll be sending you selfies from the top. Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's a good place to leave it for today. But we've got all the episodes that we've had before, and we've got a few more episodes coming out for this season. So next week we've got Vicky Peake coming out. So she's the health and wellness coach, telling us all about her story and where she is with her business now. And then we've got a few more guests following that to round up this season.
Brilliant. Looking forward to it.
I'll see you soon.
Take care, Christal.
The Sober Freedom podcast is hosted by Christal, Dauncey and Lisa McGinnis. To leave comments, ask questions and interact with the show, follow @sober.freedom on Instagram. Please also subscribe, rate and leave comments wherever you listen to help us reach more people. The show is recorded at KUPOD Studios in Oldham and produced by me, Matt Dean, with video production from Eddie Corteen for KUPOD Productions. For more information, please visit kupod.co.uk.